dramatically. So, tell me about this new company about to invade us. I wanted to change the direction of a conversation we'd had many times. Jerry had confided in me that he had sold part of his business for a shit ton of money, he'd said. I was pleased for him. He'd worked harder and far longer hours than anyone else I knew. It had been something that had come as a surprise, and the deal was done far quicker than I thought it would be. Well, as you know, world domination has always been my plan. Be serious, I said with a laugh. I'm going to introduce them at the conference. And what will they bring to the company? Big telecommunications, shipping, you name it. Owner likes to invest in successful businesses, sit back and reap the rewards. Are they going to have a day-to-day input? There'll be changes, of course, but don't panic. You're a keeper. Will you do me a favour? Will you ask reception to leave this for Scott? I handed him an envelope. When the affair had been discovered, and I'd gotten over the initial shock, one of the first things I'd done was contact the hotel and ask for my own room. The hotel had been full. We'd taken all the rooms. Jerry had offered me a side of his bed if I wanted to share the suite I'd booked him. Of course, I declined that generous offer and booked myself into a nearby hotel. It wasn't ideal, but there was no way in hell I was sharing a room with Jerry. What is it? Divorce papers. The last lot I posted to him went missing, funnily enough. Scott didn't want a divorce. Neither did he want reconciliation. Not that it was on the cards. He'd refused to instruct a solicitor, and I'd been trying to get him to sign the damn papers for weeks. I'll do better than that. I'll hand them to him myself. So, plans for tonight? Jerry asked. I have to go to the conference hall this afternoon, and you have a dinner arranged with your new partner. I booked you a table for 6 o'clock as instructed, although why you want to eat that early, I don't know. Because I'm always hungry by then. You can join us if you want, he said. Jerry, you are a great friend, and I get enough shit because of that friendship. Once they know that I knew of this deal before them, my life will be even more lonely than it is now. I didn't have friends at work. I'd been working with Jerry since the beginning. He'd asked for my help in marketing his newly formed company, and we became close. With that came the gossip. I'd often wondered if Scott's affair had been a result of his insane jealousy of the relationship Jerry and I had. Fuck them. Have dinner with us. I laughed. No, I've got too much to do. Then I want an early night. Oh well, your loss, he said, as he took out some papers from his holdall in the footwell and read through them. I did the same. Chapter 2. Miss Perry, I heard. Jerry's driver had alerted me that we were nearing my hotel. I'd been engrossed in my work and hadn't taken notice of the journey. I don't like that you're not staying with us, Jerry said. I can't stomach seeing him laughing and joking with his minions. And the hotel was full when I tried to book my own room. The car door was opened for me and I stepped out. I'll ring you later, but see you in the morning, I said. My overnight bag was handed to a porter and I followed him in. I checked in, collected my key and headed for my room. I enjoyed hotel stays and it didn't bother me being on my own. I'd travelled a lot on business. I'd gotten used to eating alone, but as I inserted the key card into the reader, a pang of nervousness hit me. I'd managed to successfully avoid Scott over the past 6 months. Whatever communication was needed was done through my assistant and his new one. The previous had left. We sat in meetings, avoided eye contact, and I kept it as professional as possible. But I wasn't looking forward to the ball on Saturday evening. I wasn't looking forward to seeing him enjoy himself while I pretended to. I unpacked my overnight bag, plugged my laptop into charge, and decided on some lunch from room service before I headed to the conference centre. The conference centre was theatre style and capable of housing the employees who'd sit through Jerry's roundup of the financial year and plans for the one coming. A large overhead monitor would display his presentation while he stood at a lectern on a small stage. Having been to many of our year-end conferences, I knew the employees. Those attending for the first time were in for a real treat. Jerry liked to throw in a few jokes, drop the F-bomb on a regular basis, and make the experience an overall enjoyable one. Although the hotel had a room large enough to house us all, it was the theatre-style seating that had sold the facility to me. No matter where people sat, they'd be able to see our wonderful leader. When I was done checking the room, then making sure all the materials I needed was sitting with the front desk,